Hey, Conor here, Neversink Farm, and you just got a flame. And the flame is a wonderfully simple device, yet provides incredible efficiency if you have a torch, right? Because you know, a torch, you got to go back and forth. A lot of flame is wasted, a lot of heat is wasted, and it's just a shroud for your flame. So the important thing to do is just to get it connected correctly. And all you need to do, and this is a flame engineering, this is the, I believe the 2-inch version, 400 BTU version, which I recommend. I think it's the best one. This size, at least, is the best. And you want the bell to be inside the hood, right? If it's outside the hood, you're just burning the hood, right? You're just heating that up. You're not getting the weeds. So you want to be able to get it inside the hood, right? At least about like that much, so that the flame, right? You'll start to see a discoloration here, right? And that's where the heat is coming down and being trapped by the body of the flame weeder. Okay, so we get it in there. We're going to just tighten down the pipe clamps. Okay, and this is very important that things are very, very tight, right? You'll see you still, once it's in there right, you'll still have the body of the bell to be able to wrap around, right? You don't want to lose that. You want to be able to clamp down on the body of the bell, and the bell is this wide part, the bottom of the torch. That's what I call the bell. Okay, I'm going to tighten that down more in a second. Okay, I'm going to get this one tight. And you see those little grooves where the clamp goes, and all that does is just help hold it in place so it doesn't slip. Now, if you don't wrench these things down really tight, you're just going to have problems, right? These tabs are going to be the only thing holding your torch on. And if you start bending them back and forth, you're just going to snap them off. Right? They're riveted on, so that means it's very, very hard repair. So get them nice and tight. Okay, I'm going to turn it around so I can get really good force on them, because you're only going to need to do this once. Hopefully, once you attach your torch to the flame, that's the end of it. Right? You may want to just check to make sure it's tight, if it loosened up or anything. Okay. Okay, get it as tight as I can by hand. Okay, and then I'm going to get the pliers just to get that extra bit. Okay. And you don't want to do it so tight that you break the pipe clamps. But okay, now you see it's nice and tight in there, right? You see? You see how I lift it up and nothing bends? Okay, you see that? Right, nothing's moving here, so I'm not going to break this tab, because as I move the flame weeder down to give it air or move it over a bump or a rock, these tabs are not bending. You see? If it's not working that way, you got to redo it, right? So just take a close look at this on how it's done, right? On where I have my pipe clamps, and it's important to use the right torch. Okay, we have a link on our website for the right torch. Okay, and look how far the bell is inside. Right, so the setup is 2 screws, but it's important the depth on it, right? So that you're not bending tabs, right? You can see it's just, right? It's so securely on there that it's working really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to give this a light. All right, so you just want to light the torch as you normally would. You don't want a lot of gas. And before I do, it's very important to have a regulator, and I think it's really important to have a squeeze valve, right? Because the squeeze valve has you know, as a pilot, which you're not going to be lighting it at full gas. Okay? So I'm just lighting it through the hole, right? So I'm not going to get burned or anything. And I have it at very low gas, okay? See? I squeeze it. And you don't need it very hot to run it. You know, if the flame weeder is at 400, 500, 600 degrees, you're good, right? Because the weeds are going to die at 160. That's about as high as you need it. You don't need this. Very low. That's enough heat. It's more than enough, right? The more heat you do, you're just going to trash your flame weeder. You don't need to keep it at thousands of degrees. That's why a good squeeze handle and regulator is a good thing. See? Ready to go. Now you're flaming.